Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Yes, it's requested everyone to switch on their cameras. APS Srinagar, switch on your camera, please.
Ma'am, our camera is on.
Morning, ma'am. Ma'am, are we audible? Ma'am? Ma'am, are we audible?
Everyone is requested to please switch on their cameras. APS Srinagar, other guests, only APS Raiwala is visible with the cameras on. And please, APS Raiwala, align your positions accordingly. You are not visible all the students sitting at extreme, you are not visible. So kindly change your sitting arrangement.
Sorry to interrupt. Good morning. I'm Mrs. Chanan, and I can see them and I can hear them very clearly. So probably there's something at your end, maybe.
Ma'am, are we audible and visible?
Yes, you are to me, but ma'am needs to check.
Ma'am, are we audible? Ma'am, are we audible? Ma'am, are we audible?
Without ethics, man has no future. That is to say, mankind without them can't be itself. Ethics determine choices, actions, and suggest difficult priorities. Good morning, respected judges, talented participants, the worthy teacher in charge, and lovely spectators. I, Manishi Manhas, take this opportunity on behalf of the Secretary of Event, Dr. Jyoti Badyal, Principal APS Dhar, to welcome you all on this grand event that is Ethic Walk 2023. Ethic Ball is an activity that combines the excitement of the competitive tournament with a valuable education experience for the high school students. Created in 1993 in a Illinois Institute of Technology, the Ethic Balls has grown steadily over the years. For the further development of the concept and to bestow the benefits of Ethics Ball amongst the students of Northern Command, APSS, Mrs. Sunita Divedi, Regional President AWWA, Northern Command, took the initiative to become the torchbearer for Northern Command Inter-APSS Ethic Balls 2023. So I'm sure you all must be ripe with anticipation already. Without any further delay, let's start. I would like to take this opportunity to advise everyone that our jury members are extremely talented and have a vast experience in the domain of education. So, the jury members, we first have with us Colonel Santosh Kumar. So, talking about Colonel Santosh, Colonel Santosh Kumar is an alumnus of National Defence Academy, Khadakwala. He was commissioned into the retirement of artillery in 1991 and has commanded 625 surveillance and target execution battery, 20 surveillance and target execution regiment, and a proposed unit of 3 infantry depth in headquarters, Northern Command. The officer is presently on a deputation to the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship since 2020 and serving on a designation of Member Secretary and Director. Policy in the National Council of Vocational Education and Training and overarching regulator in an pet ecosystem. He has a vast experience of 30 years and above and in the armed forces on various designations in the army in different territory and operation including Northeast and Jammu and Kashmir. The officer is responsible for rolling out the implementation of NEP 2020, wherein it is envisioned that by the Honorable Prime Minister to integrate vocational education into general and technical education. He looks after the coordination and conduct of National Skill Qualification Committee for NSQF alignment and approval for vocational education. We welcome you, sir. I would like to request you, sir, to boost the morale of our participants by sharing your wonderful and valuable thoughts. Sir, please, Colonel Santosh Kumar.
Thank you so much. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Sir, sorry to interrupt, sir. I guess the mic is off.
No, you're audible.
Somebody has to unmute me from your end.
So you're not audible.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
You're not audible to the students.
No, I think we can hear you. There's something wrong at the organizer's end, maybe.
It's audible. It's audible.
Okay, so should I go ahead? I think the master of ceremony can't hear me properly. Probably there is.
Yes, sir. I can hear you. I'm a secretary. Good morning, sir. You can go ahead, sir. You're
Great.
audible, sir.
Great. Jai Hind, everyone. It's indeed my honor and privilege that I have been given this opportunity to be with you all. And I'm still a serving officer on a deputation in the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. I had a pleasure of connecting with the Army Public School principals once through Mrs. Jaya Agrawal when she was working there in the Northern Command. And I am committed to take the entire NEP 2020, which is a vision of the Honorable Prime Minister, to the general education and vice versa. I've already started getting in touch with a whole lot of principals and also AWS. I'm in touch with the AEC and trying to do whatever I can to give back to this esteemed organization of Indian Army in whatever capacity I can. I'm looking forward to a very healthy competition today, and children, wish you all the best. Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have with us Mr. K.B. Jad. Talking about Mr. K.B. Jad, he's a famous personality. KB Chad is presently working as principal in AWWA group of school at Mathura. He has done masters in English, education as well as management. He has been an educator since 1986. Worked in various organizations like Army Public Schools, Navodaya Vidyalaya, Delhi Public School and Birla Group of Schools. He is a certified resource person of CBSE and has conducted more than 30 workshops for principals on pedagogical leaderships. He has attended several leadership programs at prestigious institutes like IIM Ahmedabad, Wharton Business School, Philadelphia, US, Singapore Management, University Singapore, Aditya Birla Management, Center Mumbai, CBSE, NIEPA, NCERT and SCERT, etc. Visited several international schools at US, Singapore, Bangkok and Hong Kong. He was nominated 3 times for Chairman Award, Aditya Birla Group, and awarded once as Exceptional Contributor. He loves music and traveling. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Participants will definitely be encouraged by your enlightening words. Please, sir, I request you to address them.
Thank you very much. I hope I'm audible to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Show your thumbs up,
First of all,
please.
please. First of all, I would like to thank the management, the organizers of this event, for giving me an opportunity to be a part of this learning event. It's a pleasure for me, an honor for me, basically for 2 reasons. First, I had a privilege of being a part of the jury last year also, and it's a great learning. When you listen to all these young debaters and young speakers, orators, it gives you a lot of encouragement, and it really inspires me as an educator that yes, India is going to be in very safe hands. And secondly, the emotional part is that I started my career with Army School, and I worked in Army School for about 7 years. And I remember, in the Northern Command, that was the first year when we organized events at the command level, and I was the quiz master for inter-school, quiz competition where we had. It was in Army School Pathankot, and we had about 6 to 7 schools of Northern Command participating in that. So today I am reminded of those days, when I used to be very actively involved in all the events at inter-army school level. So thank you very much to all the organizers for giving me this opportunity, and I wish all the participants all the best, and I'm sure they'll enjoy this event. So all the participants, wish you all the best and enjoy your performance. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have with us Mrs. Neetu Chanan, and talking about Ms. Neetu Chanan. See, while talking about the education, primary education from Tara Hall in Larato Convent, Shimla, high school from St. Joseph Convent, Jalandhar, senior secondary from Kendriya Vidyalaya, BSc Medical from Government College of Girls, Chandigarh. She is MSc Botany from Punjab University, Chandigarh. She is also a silver medal in that. B.Ed from Punjab University, Chandigarh. Shifting towards her experience, 3 decades of experience in field of education, in which the last 10 years has been in a leadership role. First, founder principal of Made Easy School, Gurugram. Founder principal of Noble High School, Gurugram. Former principal Presidium, Gurugram. Steered Army Goodwill School, Kupwara, JNK as chairperson to CBSE affiliation. As convener, established Udan, a school for special abled children in North Kashmir. Honored by TERI for Tetra Park Initiative in Environment and Ecology under project. We welcome you, ma'am. So I would request you to address our today's participants to boost their energy level. Neetu ma'am, sorry to interrupt. I guess your mic is off. You're not audible.
Am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am. Not
sorry for that. Children, you're all tech savvy. Ma'am is yet to learn a lot of technology. Anyway, a very good morning to all of you, everyone present here. And it's truly an honor and a privilege to be here. And I think it's a great initiative taken up by the AWWA, the Ethics Bowl. For the simple reason, children, I'm sure you'll agree, all of us know what is right and what is wrong, right? But at times there are situations when it is difficult to decide what course to take. And you will find yourself invariably standing at the crossroads as you grow older, you go out into the world. Right now, you're in a very protected environment. And that is the time decision making is something which is very important. So I think this discussion and this platform is going to give you a whole lot of exposure virtually by discussion, so that tomorrow when you go into the world, you'll be better equipped to handle whatever situations that you come into. And it's really, I'm looking forward to this, and really nice to see the two teams. One is Srinagar and the other one is Raiwala. I can see the Srinagar team all smiling. Raiwala, is you very serious? Why is that? Come on. Okay, that's it. Nice to see your smiles. All the best to all of you children. Looking forward to this enriching experience that I'm going to have with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. As you all are aware that matches are going to take place between the two teams of Pool A. First is Army Public School Srinagar, one of the participants, and Army Public School Raiwala. Now I will request the participants from both the schools to introduce themselves one by one. So we are starting with orators from APS Srinagar. The participants of APS Srinagar, kindly introduce yourself one by one.
Good morning to respected judges and everyone present here. My name is Maria and I am from class 12.
Good morning, everyone. I am Yash Yadav from class 10.
A very warm good morning to everyone present here. I am Rutrakshi from class 12.
Greetings everyone. I'm Malika from class 12.
Morning everyone. I'm Krishna Mana from class 10.
Good morning everyone. I'm Usman Khalid from class 12.
Yes, orators from APS Srinagar, the girl sitting at the extreme left, you're not visible at all. Kindly align yourself, change your sitting arrangement or align your camera, whatever you are comfortable in. You're not visible at all. Yes, only half of your face is visible. So it's important that all of you is visible properly. Yes, no, it's fine. Okay. Next, I'll request team of APS Raiwala to introduce themselves one by one. Orators from APS Raiwala.
Good morning, everybody. I am Parth Sharma, a student of class 12th A1.
Morning, everyone. I'm Vandana from class 12. Morning, everyone. I'm Ragini Pandey from class 12. Morning, everyone. I'm Richa Baur from class 12. Morning, everyone. I'm Shravan from class 12. Morning, everyone. I am Khushi Pawar of class 10.
Okay, good morning everyone. So success is the result of perfection, hard work, loyalty and persistence. With these core ingredients in you, you surely will put up a great show. I'll wish best of luck to all of you. We are looking forward to witness an interactive and vivacious discussion from both the teams. The presenter and the responder team will be chosen through a draw of lots. The name of both the teams are written in a slip inside this bowl. So everyone, there are two slips in this bowl and your names is written and it's folded. So even I'm not aware whatever name is mentioned in this slip. So here we have a team A or the presenter team. So I'll be choosing one slip. My eyes are closed. Randomly, I'm just shuffling all the slips and choosing one. So one slip in my hand. So it's totally a game of chance. The first one is it visible? Okay, the first school is Army Public School, Raiwala. So all the jury members, it's a request in your sheets provided, kindly mention team A is APS Raiwala. Team A is the presenter team and the other team is APS Srinagar. APS Srinagar is the responder team, it's team B. So I'm repeating, team A, the presenter team is APS Raiwala. Team B, the responder team is APS Srinagar. Team A, APS Raiwala. Team B, APS Srinagar. So we have selected our teams. So Albert Einstein once quoted, "You have to learn the rules of the games and then you have to play better than anyone else." With the notion of this in our mind, let's move ahead. Through the course of action of the matches were already sent to the participants' school through general instructions and guidelines, but I will recapitulate all the rules in case of any doubt. So the rules are, kindly pay attention everyone, all the participants. Each team will be given 10 minutes to present, including answer the ethical question put up by me at the end of the case study. So 10 minutes will be provided to you. The reminder bell will be given after 8 minutes. In that 10 minutes, the reminder bell will be after 8 minutes and final bell will be after 10 minutes to sum up the case. So within 10 minutes, you have to present your case. Clear? Show me a thumbs up, everyone. Cool. So after that, 1 marks will be deducted for every minute excluding the time limit. So if you are exceeding the time limit, if you are speaking after 10 minutes also, then there will be negative marking and your marks will be deducted, 1 marks. The other team, the responder team, will be given 2 minutes to confer. Pay attention everyone, please keep a check on the time. Other team will be given 2 minutes to confer and 5 minutes to comment on the presenter team. Okay, so team A will be presenting and team B will be commenting on them. Okay, responding. The other team is also required to ask maximum of 2 questions to the presenter team post their commentary. The moment the presenter team is finished with their commentary, the responder team can ask maximum of 2 questions to them. And it's important that if you have 2 questions in your mind, so you have to ask both the questions in a single go. So it's not like that you one question, then you will wait for the answer and then posing this other question. Both the questions in a single go and you have to compile all this in 5 minutes. Clear? So the presenter team will be given 2 minutes to confer. After the responder team asks them the question, the presenter team will be given 2 minutes to confer and come back with their answers. And most importantly, no cross questioning between teams is allowed. So team B will not be cross questioning. You will just be posing your questions and the first team will be answering. So the presenter team is required to answer put by the other team within 5 minutes. So 2 minutes to confer and 5 minutes to respond. The team can decide. So pay attention everyone. The first one is APS Raiwala. So pay attention. It's like the team can decide whether all the members will speak one by one or only one member speaks. So unanimously you can decide only one will give the answer, or everyone is like, you can decide by your own, so that all the members will speak or only one will speak. And after that, the reminder bell will be given after your time is up, that is 5 minutes. So this is for the teams. Next is for our judges. After this, when both the teams were done with their presentation and response and all those things, after this the judges will ask one question each. So each of the 3 judges will ask you the questions. They are allowed to cross question. See, the teams are not allowed to cross question, but judges can cross question you, and judges will be cross questioning only the presenter team. The presenter team will get 2 minutes to confer. After listening the questions, you will be getting 2 minutes to confer and later you can get back with your answers. So there will be, after this, the team A, it will be over. There will be 15 minutes break before the next team presents its case. Once the next team starts, the same format as mentioned above will be followed, will be repeated. At last, we will be closing the event by finally announcing the scores of both the teams and declaring the winners. So, the key on holding a logical argument or debate is to allow oneself to understand the other person's arguments, no matter how diverging their views may seem. So team A, APS Raiwala, be ready. I'm going to read your case study now. The title of your case study is Media Ethics versus Public Safety. So one of the participants is laughing. Are you happy about the case study or no? So media ethics versus public safety. You are, pay attention everyone, you are a struggling reporter of a news channel and have been under severe pressure from your editor-in-chief to bring some sensational news to boost television rating points, that's TRPs. So you have interviewed a famous religious leader of a minority faction on a recent verdict of Supreme Court. In the interview, the religious leader used a provocative statement and urged the member of the community to rebel against the court ruling. If the interview is aired, it might spark communal tension and law and order problem in society. You are well aware that if the interview is presented to the editor-in-chief, he will definitely air it to boost TRPs. The interview may lead to an exponential growth in your career. So the situation is, your question for discussion is, in such circumstances, would it be right to present to editor-in-chief, identify the moral dilemma faced by you? So is the question clear? Shall I repeat the question? In such circumstances, I'm repeating the question, pay attention. So in such circumstances, would it be right to present to editor-in-chief, identify the moral dilemma faced by you? So class, team A, you have 10 minutes to present your argument.
Thank you, ma'am, for the case study.
And your time starts now. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am, for the case study and question. The greatest thing is to have a self-response for justice, commitment, and concern for each other as a fellow human. With these wise words of the Dalai Lama, I would like to convey our opinions on the given case study. It is clearly highlighted in the case study that the moral responsibility of media is to uphold social ethics. The media ethics involves the universal respect for life and support and defense of law and legality. But the main cardinal function of journalism is to collect information and news, but that should be done as an independent voice, without any protest or any foundation from government through any type of pressure. But in the given case study, it was clearly shown to us that the religious leader neither spoke a wise man's words, nor he was doing a good task in speaking his words. The statements and words spoken by him were provocative statements that may or may not have hurt the part of the society to which it would have been heard. So this makes it the journalist's topmost priority to make sure that he or she upholds the social peace and smooth continuity of society by carefully reading through what they are going to publish or broadcast might do to the society in future. Reporters must be held accountable for all the problems they are going to commit. Now, from all these big news channels, it is clear enough that even a single broadcast or news from them is capable enough to cause a multiple scale rebellion in nothing more than a matter of days, which is scary enough to imagine at a national or international level. Passing on to teammate Vanna.
Thank you, Fahad, for his eye-opening views on this case study. The Press Conference of India clearly mentioned that it is the duty of press not to discriminate or to inflame hatred on news channels such as race, nationality, gender, or gender. The Press Council of India should refrain from mentioning race, nationality, gender in the news channels as news stories until and unless it is needed. As a reporter, one should ensure to thoroughly analyze whether, as a news reporter, one should thoroughly analyze whether the statement given by the religious leader were a mere expression or a form of hatred speech that will cause disharmony in the society. Thank you. Now passing on to Richa. According to a Sanskrit shloka, Satyam Bruyat, Priyam Bruyat, Na Bruyat, Satyam Apriyam, Priyam Nityam Bruyat, Esham Dharm Sanatan. This shlok means that One should always speak the reality in an exceeding pleasant way. Don't speak the reality that's unpleasant. Never speak untruth, which that's unpleasant. Never speak untruth. Uh, how will you follow the dharma, the main motive of life? Because dharma is worship. Worshipping your work and worshipping your religion always be a supreme motive of one's life. Media laws and media ethics have always been a center point of examination in any country. The fundamental objective of responsible journalism is to serve people with information, views, and comments on matters beneficial to the public interest in an accurate, fair, and unbiased manner. But the problem arises when the media crosses their boundary, ethical position just for a little bit of success in their career. Ethics are moral set of values and principles that guides us to differentiate between good or bad with a core obligation appended to it towards the benefit of the society. Media and reporters seen as a legitimate reflection of the larger public interest, views, and opinion, and it is thus considered as the fourth pillar of the democratic governance. Now passing on to Ravini. Thank you, Richa. There's no bigger ethics than the work ethics. We all live in a democratic country and everyone has the right to speak. Even if the religion leader has spoke a provocative words, but then also it depends on the reporter how he puts his point and he sees his work ethics. And it is his ethics that he should just pass the information to the chief editor because it is his prior work. It is they are not here to discuss that even if that the prior work of the reporter is to transfer information to the public so that public would know that what is happening in their environment. Reporters aren't responsible for the public safety. There are departments and they have their work to do. They know what they're doing. And for the public safety, there's so many different criteria and there's so many different categories of their police, their army, but reporters aren't responsible for it. They might be responsible, but in a really different way. They would be responsible just for the public safety, just only by passing the correct information to the public that what is wrong and what is right. Thank you so much. That's it.
Well articulated, Team A. That was a wonderful deliberation of thoughts. So, Team B, you have 2 minutes to confer, and after which you will present your summary and you will pose 1 or 2 questions to Team A, that is APS Traveler. Just wait, I'll be announcing your time. So, this is your confer time. APS Srinagar. So team B, your time is up. Please be ready to present your comments and pose your questions to team A. You will be given 5 minutes to do so, and your time starts now.
A very warm good morning to the judges, my dear delegates, and all of you present here today. I would like to congratulate Team A for their wonderful commentary. I definitely agree with a few points of yours. As one of your teammates said, that media is the most potent and essential pillar of democracy. That is definitely true. Media plays a very significant role in shaping the views and influencing the public opinion by what they see, hear, and read. News outlets, television programs, and other forms of media have a tremendous impact in the way people perceive the world around them. They have the power to change the fabric of people's core network. This case study regards us as a reporter. We have a lot of duties upon this. The ethical dilemma here posed is that the statement given by the religious leader is a proactive one, and if it is aired, it might spark communal tensions. But if I do not report it, I will lose my job. How will I earn my living? How will I survive? But the question here is definitely a tricky one, but the answer is clear, for which I like to pass it on to Dash.
Thank you, Rudrakshi. We all know that media can be compared to a huge tree with its vast branches and vast reaching paths. It is something that reaches all sections of society, all kinds of people. Is so much so that media has been proclaimed as the fourth pillar of democracy. Therefore, it is our responsibility as a good reporter to convey the correct information, not only the true information, but ethically correct information, which I agree with Team A's commentary on. Now, I would like to pose a question to you.
Is it possible over this?
It was mentioned that reality which is unpleasant should be hidden. Well, Team A, my question here is, how can we be the advocate of truths when we are hiding truths just because it seems unpleasant? We often say that truth is always bitter. It is harsh sounding. But we also know truth is the ultimate goal. How can we do this? How can we hide a truth? This is my question. Now, I would like to pass it on to Krishna Manohar to ask another question.
Thank you, Josh. James Mill tells us that any doctrine should be allowed to see the light of the day, no matter how immoral it may seem to everyone else. So here, you're asking to block this dirt. You're asking to refrain from eating it, right? And as our scriptures say, the truth is like a fire. Even if you stop it for a second, it will burn out of its confinement and spread across the land. So how can you make sure that even if you stop it, there might be other news channels that will go to him and take interviews, because he's a minority leader and leaders give interviews very often. Like some leaders give interviews twice or thrice a day, every day. So how can you make sure that others won't use it? Because everyone is greedy. Everyone wants money at the end of the day. We are living by money at the end of the day, not by some. So we are living by money at the end of the day. So what will be your statements on this? So hereby we conclude our questions and we hope you give a satisfactory answer.
Thank you so much for questioning us. And I think you haven't heard what I said. As I mentioned, that it is the work of reporters to report it. It is not their work to see on the public safety. There's so many different organizations in our country who are responsible for it. And the leader, he has the democracy to speak because we are living in a democratic country. And
AP Chaiwala, as per the rules, you will be getting 2 minutes to prepare for your answer. So take your time and get back to the answer. Okay, no issues. I'll be giving you 2 minutes. Just prepare for your answer well, and later you can come to your answer. And your time starts now.
Keep look.
So team A, now you can present your answer. You'll be given 5 minutes for that, and your time starts now. 5 minutes.
thank you so much for questioning us. Indeed, reporters has a duty and public has right to know. As I mentioned during my presentation, that it is reporter's work to transfer the information. He can't control everything on his own. And it is his prior duty not to it is not his duty to look after the public safety. His only duty is just to transfer the information. Maybe his duty would be public safety, but in a really completely different manner. Not going to the borders or not going on roads and stopping the strikes happening there. It's the duty of police, it's the duty of army to control the peace of the country. We can't really see that one profession would do every work there. So the formal ethics, as I mentioned, the formal ethics is the work ethic. His work ethic is to transfer the information. And we are living in a democratic country. The leader had a right to speak, even if his words would be harsh for if we see according to the religious perspective. But that was his right. We can't really stop him. And it is reporter's duty to transfer the information. Even if he stops the information there, we don't really see that leader would not speak these words again to another reporter and he would stop it or not. So prior thing we see here is reporter must fulfill his duty and should transfer the information that public should know what's happening. That is his duty and he should definitely fulfill it. I would agree. Thank you so much. I would pass it to my teammate.
Thank you, Ragini, for your views. Now, without pointing fingers towards anybody, I would like to ask the team members of Team B, as a civilian individual who is going to hit the age 18 and is going to get a job. I know being loyal to a job is a more certain option for somebody struggling to get even a work or even getting a wage for a day. We are living in a world where a single word causes a mass level rebellion in nothing more than a matter of days. Okay, be loyal to your job, get a promotion, but are you ready to take the responsibility of the rebellion that will cause problems, destruction of property, and many other assets? Thank you. We would like to conclude with our answers.
Thank you, Team A. I must say, all of you really excelled in creativity and self-expression. Now it's time for the judges' questions. My request, I first do remember Colonel Santosh Kumar to pose his question to Team A. Colonel Santosh Kumar, sir.
Yes. So it was, at the outset, I must appreciate the organizers to have really, brought out the topics or case studies which are so live and were really thought-provoking. And I really went back to my days. I have done my schooling in Sainik School and started getting into the debates and declamations. Fantastic. The media and ethics, it's the talk of the town these days. All of us, every day are listening. We all are aware that there's an alignment of the channels, and then comes the ethics. There are so many press clubs of India, and a whole lot of orders are there on this. We all are aware of all that, but all of us also know one thing, that ethics are built on religious principles, values, traditions, cultures. So having seen all these aspects at the backdrop of the thing, now my question to Team A would be that, in your opinion, the ethics of media, how should they accentuate? Could I make myself clear, Team A? Thank you. I would love to hear from you.
Thank you, sir, for your thought-provoking question. Team A, APS Raiwala, you will be getting 2 minutes to confer, and later you can come back with the answers. So take your time, and your time starts now. time is up. So we are looking forward to your answer.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, with providing us with such a mind-provoking question. Sir, media can follow media ethics by following the universal respect of life. Earning profits can also be done by getting people with the truth and accuracy. Nowadays, mainly, people don't care about the debates and provocative statements and headlines given by the media. They need news regarding employment. They need news regarding what about the economy. They need news regarding their development. So, giving them with such provocative statements should not be a media ethics, as we have 5 media ethics regarding truth, accuracy, ethics, and many more. Sorry, I forgot this 2 more. But all of these doesn't regard any religious or persuasive manner to pursue people to increase their TRP. It doesn't include that. Moving on to my partner, Ragini.
There are systems and they have their work and they have their own responsibility to fulfill. Media's only prior responsibility is to just fulfill their ethics. This will be enough for them for not really contradicting their facts and providing it to the public just for the sake of TRP. You can speak anything, but you can't speak anything. Okay, and I would like to really thank for the question. It was wonderful. Thank you so much, sir. And religious leader had a right to speak. As I mentioned before too, that we are living in a democratic country and everyone has their opinion to say. I would definitely agree that in our country, religion is really a prior thing to consider. But media has their work and they should do their work. If they'll just do their work and they won't get into controversies, as my partner also mentioned, nowadays people they're not really concerned about how media is just putting the news in front of them. They just not look into the information. Nowadays we see shorts. We just want the minor information. They don't get into details. Even if you'll just right now get information, it will be a long paragraph. You won't read it. You will just see the minor heading. Okay, what is it? This is the thing. Media should understand this thing and they should just follow their ethics. That would be great for them. Thank you so much. That would be it.
Thank you. Thank you and bless you all. So since I asked this question, some of the thoughts, because you people are the future of the nation. So I thought that, though not a platform, but I must say that the way you people have gone about answering it in such a short time was really good. But as you look at, these all these media personnel, the way they communicate on the television and all, certain things which I thought that they must do to, emphasize on these ethics would be, like objectivity in reporting, the truthfulness, then even the, general standard of maintaining politeness. If they just, every one of us have got brain to analyze that what the person is talking, how much of truth is there in that note, because digital print, you get everything, the views pro as well as phone. But at least when you communicate to the people, some ethics definitely taken into consideration. Thank you so much. You people answered it well. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. May I request our second judge, Mr. KB Jat, to answer his question, to ask his question to Team A. KB Jat, sir.
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to congratulate the team for excellent presentation and for their teamwork and the way they have handled this burning issue and topic. My question to Team A is that, nowadays TV channels, news channels are mushrooming like anything. now we have lost the count also how many channels are there which are supposed to be so-called news channels. Whether they are news channels or not news channels, that is another debate. But they claim to be they are news channels, and they create a sensation. Since there's no news sometimes, so they go and create the news. They create a sensation so that they get some work and they get some TRP, mostly compromising on ethics also. So that is one thing. Now you imagine, you decide to be an entrepreneur, an honest entrepreneur with practicing ethics and all that, and you plan and you decide that you will have your own news channel. You start your own news channel. So please, you just discuss among yourself and try to find out and let us know that by and large, what will be the policies of your channel to see that you maintain the ethics, and as well as you see that you don't run into loss also, and you compromise to all the basic ethics that are required for any news channel in view of the case study that we have just gone through. I hope I have made myself very clear. Now you are the CEO of a news channel. You have to frame a policy of your channel that this is how we are going to function, and this is something where there will be no compromise. But at the same time, you have to survive also. So you see both, and so we like to have your insights on that.
Thank you, sir, for such a thoughtful question. Team A, you will be given 2 minutes as a confer time. Take your time and get back with your answer. So 2 minutes, your time starts now. Team A, your time is up. Now we are looking for your answer.
Thank you so much, sir, for questioning us. Indeed, a really wonderful and mind-boggling question. I would start with ethics is knowing the difference between what is right to do and what is right to do, and what you should do. Okay. Nowadays, as we see, there's so many news channels, small news channels, big news channels. There's so many reporters going on. But whenever we see a news going on, a rumor going on, we always check with our prior concern or with the authority which which we are connected with, or which we believe, okay, it is really nice. We should consult it with that. That won't be a really small firm, obviously, and that would be a really uh, authority, a higher authority, obviously. And as according, according to Hindu mythology, Sri Krishna said this to Arjuna that he should always follow his dharma. It was his dharma to be a warrior, even if he has to fight with his brothers. Reporters always face these difficulties, and in media also we see nowadays there's so many rumors going on, there's so many things going on which we don't know, and they should always and even if these things happen, government always look after these things. If I consider myself as CEO, I will always look after these things, and I would not let this thing happen. Even if it would happen, I would definitely consider to look after it, and would definitely give the person a really nice punishment for his or her negligence, or whatever things is going on there. Would definitely control the situation as per its requirement. Thank you so much. I would pass into Parth.
Thank you, Ragini. So, as role playing as in the place of a news channel CEO, the loss might be great. But when we are only going with the truth, but as my teammate said, a lie that doesn't hurt and get us profit might be morally bad, but it is okay to consider. I will keep in check that not whole, but almost 50% of my news or broadcast might not cause an uproar in the society. And there's an example. There are clashes going on in Manipur, but not even a single news is being broadcasted or aired on any news channel. I'm not pointing fingers. This is just an example from a trusted resource. Thank you. We would like to conclude with the answers.
Thank you very much for your response. I think the future of media in India is in very safe hands. But you see, if you start any venture with ethics and honesty, with some moral principles, initially you may have some setbacks, you may have some, unhealthy competition. But over a period of time, when people see that you call spade a spade, and that is what everybody likes, though we have thousands of channels these days, but we watch just 2 or 3 only, because we feel that they are more authentic and they are trustworthy. So naturally, tomorrow, if you start your own channel, you have to have proper ethics, never compromise on security of the nation, or never, and whatever you broadcast, whatever is aired, it has to be properly ascertained with facts and figures. And then, because, we don't, there are certain things which are above self, like, the ethics, the moral grounds, the security of our safety of our nation. So thank you very much for your response, and wish you all the best. Thank you.
The master of ceremony is muted.
Now I request our third judge, Mrs. Neetu Chanan, to pose a question to Team A, APS Jaiwala. Mrs. Neetu Chanan, ma'am.
Firstly, my compliments to each one of you children. I think you did an exceedingly great job. And it was nice to hear your views. And like earlier, the esteemed judges also said that you're the torch bearers and you're tomorrow, the citizens of tomorrow. Now, I have a very, very simple, since we've been discussing this issue, I have a very simple question for you. Actually, not really a question. I think I'm going to give you another situation, a similar kind. If Team Raiwala was the reporter and you're on the crossroads where you have to pick between, in a similar situation, so you're the reporter, and you have to pick between ethics versus public safety, what would be your take on it and why? So there has to be consensus in the team on this. I'm sure when you discuss, there will not be, because every individual thinks differently, right? But so I'll just repeat again if I'm not clear. If you're on similar crossroads and there is a situation where you have to choose between ethics and public safety, what will be your take on it? And why would you pick whatever that is? Am I clear?
Thank you, ma'am, for your thought-provoking question. Team A, we will give you 2 minutes as a confer time. Take your time, and your time starts now. Team A, your time is up. You ready with the answer?
Thank you, ma'am. It was a very great question. One of the most important role of media is to make sure that public safety is followed. Media is given authority by the government to make sure that the general is aware, but not too much. But not too much at the point where it might cause them harm. Well, but this can be rotated in a professional manner. We can make sure that public safety is there and let people know. As I previously mentioned, that clashes are going on in Manipur, but there is no news about it, and yet people know about it. Not only that profited social media, it also stopped the public to get a wrong idea about the government or raise any voice in a wrong manner. I would like to compart with Ragini.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for asking this question. It was really great hearing it. I would start with media has a job and public has a right to know. But media does follow public safety, but in a really different way, as I mentioned before. Media do follow public safety in conveying the message to the public. Okay, for example, a murderer is going around us, and media would tell us that, okay, you have to be secured and you have to be cautious about it. It is also public safety. They're not going on borders, they're not going on roads, they're not stopping any, they're not firing any bullets there. That is what public safety for in the media perspective. If we see here, the destruction would be caused by the leaders through castrative words. But it was media's prime work is to follow their ethics. It is their work to transfer the information. It is their work to forward the information, because we never know what would happen if they would hide that information. They should definitely share the information what they're getting, but in a certain way that public would not get any harm with it. As we're living in a country where religion is a prior thing, we should always consider this fact that religion should not be harmed, because religion is supreme here. Thank you so much. I would pass it to Vandana.
Thank you, ma'am, for your question. For this, I will straight away go for public safety. I feel myself a responsible citizen of India. So, truth can become a destroyer of the society. For me, public safety matters most. Thank you.
With this, we would like to conclude our answer, ma'am.
Neetu ma'am, your mic is off.
Okay. Thank you so much. I think I've got my answer. Thank you.
Very well answered, Team A. You have given exceptional presentation. Now we will have a break for about 15 minutes, and after which Team B will be presenting their case, and here Team B is APS Srinagar. So take a little break of about 15 minutes and we'll be back. Welcome back, everyone. We had some very intriguing and magnificent ideas from both the teams in the first round. Now it's time for Team B to present their case. Team B, I will now read your case study. The title of your case study is Team B, are you ready? APS Srinagar. So, Team B, National Security and Honey Trapping. You are a senior officer at an intelligence agency working for the international security of the nation. You found out that a junior officer has been a victim of honey trapping through social media, and in all of this, his phone was hacked and confidential files were leaked. The entire department has come together and wants to take strict action against the officer for his behavior. That junior officer is highly skilled and a valuable asset for the organization. He is also very close to you as you have mentored him throughout, and he also respects you a lot. Moreover, any action against him might attract media attention and bring a bad reputation to the organization at large. So is the case study clear to you? Am I audible? So your discussion question is, what are the ethical issues involved and the options available to you in such a situation? I'm repeating my question, pay attention. What are the ethical issues involved and the options available to you in such a situation? So you have 10 minutes to present your arguments, and your time starts now.
A very warm good morning to all of you present here. Bhanwari Devi versus the state of Rajasthan, murder case 2011. Nambi Narayan versus the state of Kerala, espionage case 1990s. Ashok Goyal versus the state of Gujarat, honey trapping case 2010. Above mentioned are the cases that demonstrate the serious consequences that can result from honey trapping and putting national security at risk. Security of the nation is of paramount importance. It is the protection of the nation's people, its sovereignty, its territory from internal and external threats. The case study regards me as a senior officer working at an intelligence agency for the internal security of the country. One of my junior officer has been involved in the honey trapping case, and his phone was hacked in the process and confidential files leaked. Now everyone in the department looks upon me to take an action. The ethical issues involved in this case are grave and are required to be dealt with sensitivity. But I would like to clear the wrong here and clarify my stand. No matter how young, how skilled, or how valuable my officer must be, nothing comes above the nation. National security is my first duty, and my loyalty will always be towards the nation. Yes, agreed that whatever happened was an act of omission, but it was an offense which is completely unacceptable. Let's say that I give vent to my emotions and do not act upon the same stringently. I allow for him to continue working, tag his actions as a mistake. What kind of example will I be setting for the others to see? In this situation, I thoroughly do understand the working of human beings. My officer's dignity here is at question. He is being affected by this case. Therefore, I would like to arrange for a counselor to work him through this. But it does not mean that the intensity of his actions have decreased. Thus, what is important for me is my nation, its security, its safety, its soundness, and its freedom. Now, Maria would walk you through the core dilemma and the stakeholders involved.
Thank you, Rudrakshi.
The case study above is not a simple one and is an irony, as I have to choose between my personal emotions and relations and the security of the nation. The case above involves various ethical issues that we need to ponder over with utmost sensitivity. First of all, human emotions. Officers, despite being trained with confidentiality norms, often get tricked by spies for gaining sensitive information. In this case, the vulnerability of us and our emotions acts as a risk to the national security. Breach of trust. If necessary actions not taken against the junior officer, such incidents erode the people's trust in the intelligence agency for upholding national security. Empathy towards colleagues. Yes, I do have personal and close relations with the junior officer, but as the senior officer at the intelligence agency, it is my duty to make sure that I do not let that emotion overpower or hinder taking strict action or necessary actions against the junior officer. Now, this case again involves various ethical values that we need to sort while considering our priorities. The first and foremost priority should be patriotism and confidentiality. It is a case that involves our whole country, protection of our country as a nation. I need to protect my country even if it means punishing the most talented mentee. The above should be given priorities with over empathy towards my colleagues any day to protect and maintain the trust of the people in the organization. As per Hindu mythology, Sri Krishna advised Arjuna to do what is right and not escape his dharma. Arjuna was a warrior and his duty was to do what was just and right, even if it meant punishing his own brother. Now, I would like to pass the case to Krishna to elaborate further.
Thank you, Maria. So let me put forth an example before you. 20-year-old Nishant Agrawal, a Government of India's Young Scientist Awardee, the leader of a team of 40 scientists working on a top secret project, Project BrahMos, the world's fastest anti-ship missile, was a victim of the oldest page in the book of tricks. You know it, it is honey trapping. The Pakistani intelligence has used honey trapping to get many confidential pages about Project BrahMos out of India and used it to build their own missile. That was the effect of honey trapping. They did not even
I think the light issue there. They must have lost it.
Videos pause, I guess some technical glitch. Some light issues.
So, dear judges and the master of ceremony, if it is okay, we can give them this time compensation.
Yes, sir. This is for your information that we have already paused their time.
Great.
We have already paused the time. See,
That's
the time is 5 minutes 31 seconds. We have already paused the time. The time is, I'm repeating, 5 minutes 31 seconds. We have already paused the time. I guess there is some technical glitch or maybe some electricity issue. We're just waiting for them.
Hello, APS.
So this is for your information that we are trying to connect APS Srinagar, and the moment we get a feedback, whatever the issue is, we'll let you know.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
I'm sorry for that.
Ma'am, are we audible?
Yes, you're audible. Team B, APS Srinagar. I would like
Ma'am,
to
we
mention that
apologize. We are really sorry because
it's
sitting in
okay,
a
there are no
place like
issues.
Kashmir and especially in Srinagar, the conditions are known to everyone. So we often get electricity and network shortage and cuts. So we
But
can't
No
help
issue.
required. No explanation required. Go ahead. Ma'am has
So,
already been considerate. Just don't worry.
so APS Srinagar, I would like to tell you that your time is paused. You have already taken 5 minutes and 31 seconds. So from that, we are continuing your time. 5 minutes, 31 seconds, and start.
So, as I mentioned earlier, honey trapping has dire consequences on our country. Like the case of Nishant Agrawal, we may lose information, but it may happen even worse because, like in the case of Naval Commander Sukhjinder Singh, who was sent to Moscow to supervise the INS Vikramaditya's repair. He was honey trapped there, and the cost was $2.3 billion, which is 6 times more than the original cost. That was the consequence of honey trapping. It had extremely dangerous repercussions on our economy and our information. Like what happened in 2009, a Russian spy found a honey trap nuclear weapon expert, which resulted in the confidential information. At last, I would like to end it with Martin Luther King Jr.'s quote: "The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in comfort and convenience, but where he stands in controversy and challenge." And at last, we as an organization would like to prove to the world that will maintain our values no matter where the chips fall. So, Dosh, why don't you share your insights on the given case study?
Thank you, Krishna. Good morning to everyone. Today, I, Darsh, will try my best to answer the questions positioned to us by the case study. First of all, let's see what the ethical issue here is. Well, the ethical issue here is a very grave one indeed. It is an ethical issue between empathy and sympathy of mine as a senior officer for my junior counterpart whom I have mentored and seen him grow. On the other hand, there is national integrity and national security, one which cannot be compensated by anything. Therefore, as the senior officer in the organization, it is my responsibility to take care of the national security. The irresponsible behavior, even though it was unintentional by my junior counterpart, is unacceptable. National security cannot be neglected in such ways. Therefore, as a senior officer, I have two main streams of actions I can take. One being a lenient approach and the other a stern one. Therefore, the lenient one would be to give a counseling session and let the junior officer rejuvenate and continue and come back stronger after what has happened to him. On the other hand, a stern action, which would include suspending that officer and also having a private meeting and investigation to see what all the damage was, how much information has been neglected, and try to cover it up. On the other hand, my course of action finally would be to take a strict action. National security is something which cannot be neglected. Therefore, a strict action in private within the organization is essential for completing the wrongdoings of the junior officer. Therefore, I would like to conclude on my team A's part that we, or as a team, vouch for taking a stern action so that the junior officer can learn a lesson as well as the whole organization gets an example. Therefore, I would now like to conclude on part of Team A. Thank you.
Well presented, Team B. That was such a wonderful communication of thoughts and ideas. Team A, APS Raiwala, you have 2 minutes to confer, and after which you will be presenting your summary, and you can also pose one or two questions to Team B. And your time starts now. Team A, your time is up. Please be ready to present your comments and pose your questions, maximum of two, to Team B, APS Srinagar. You will be given 5 minutes to do so, and your time starts now.
Thank you so much. That was the beautiful and thoughtful performance by you. I would like to say there's so many incidents which of honey trapping happening around us, even in the army intelligence agencies, which are really highly protected by cybersecurity, and they keep a really nice touch on their cybersecurity agencies and everything. We cannot neglect the fact that he lost the confidential files.
It is the prior concern of ours that national information got lost, and it could create a really serious situation for our country. Even if we consider the thought of giving him a light punishment and giving him a leniency just because he is a wonderful and talented officer, doesn't mean that he can really neglect this small points and he can be escaped from these things just because he's intelligent. If you are a topper in class and you are cheating in the exam, and teacher would come and he or she would say that he is the topper, he can cheat. That doesn't make sense, I believe. And if the national security is at stake, then our prior concern should be that that officer should be punished really harshly. And if we not punish him and just neglect the fact that he's intelligent, we cannot really think that what would happen in future. If the similar situation would come up, then what will you do? If some other officer would come up in the future and would say, why I am getting a punishment when he didn't got it? Because each and every officer in the Indian Army or in India, or even if we don't consider India, are really highly talented and really well trained. That is why they're in that position. Thank you so much. I would like to pass it to Parth now.
Team A very beautifully conveyed their opinions on this case study. So I would like to start with a quote. A fox has many tricks, but a hedgehog has only one, and that is the best of them all. Nowadays, honey trap is a scam that has gone into a new dimension on social media. Well, most of the social media platforms are acting as a stage for them to commit their crimes. And one of the greatest social media example, like Facebook, has admitted that over 270 million accounts on their platform has been illegal. So, since this is a case of national security, should there be any sort of compromise in terms of punishment to any honey-trapped official, especially with the knowledge that they have been targeted specifically? Do human emotions come into play while deciding the punishment? I would like to conclude.
And well expressed. Communication by Team A. Team B, AP Srinagar, you have 2 minutes to prepare for your answer. That is your confer time. And your time starts now. 2 minutes. Team B, you can select your answer now. You will be given 5 minutes to do the same, and your time starts now. 5 minutes.
Thank you, Team A, for your invaluable opinion. Now I would like to answer the questions positioned to us by you. First of all, the confidentiality of the things which have been leaked. Delegate, if you would have paid more attention, that is what I was mentioning all are about. The confidentiality cannot be compensated by anything whatsoever. That is why I mentioned that there should be a private inter-organization investigation about what all has been neglected and then try our best to retrieve it. Of course, due to the actions and immature behavior of the junior officer, a lot of information was leaked out. But well, that action is something just can't be reversed. On the other hand, you were also mentioning that we will be lenient. Well, delegate, we were always vouching for having a more strict and stern approach with the junior officer who committed the mistake. On the other hand, you asked about the compromise. Well, delegate, again, I would like to refer to my previous commentary when I said we have two options, a lenient one and a stern one. Just because we did not want any compensations and compromisations with the national security, we went with the stern option. And the stern punishment of the junior officer answers this. Therefore, there will be no more compensation. Thank you.
Thank you, Team B. I must say both the teams had witty speakers who aptly answers the questions. Now it's time for the judges' questions. So Team B, be prepared for it. May I request our first judge, Colonel Santosh Kumar sir, to pose his question to Team B, APS Srinagar. Sir, please.
Good afternoon. I think we have run into the afternoon. Yes. Am I audible? Great. So again, a fantastic topic because, having done 3 tenures on the border areas and also some of the important assignments while being in a peace areas, I can convincingly make the statement that this effort by the miscreants is on always. Okay. Earlier it used to be on a physical mode. Since there was no communication, digitization of media was not done that much. So people used to try the endeavor to connect with you and then try and find out the inputs from you or put you under some kind of, stress, blackmail करेंगे आपको, इस तरह का चीज चलता था. But with the proliferation of media, this has become much easy. Okay. And it has become so easy that inadvertently, unknowingly also, sometimes you give yourself away to them. Okay. So it is more important for, the children of your age. As I walk to my office and when I'm getting back also, you people would also be noticing. All of us are always on mobile, even when we are walking up and down the steps. And the clauses and the issues are so much that, when you are wanting to register yourself somewhere and all that, what happens? You just say accept, 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 and you just keep moving, okay? And you do not know which was with a malignant intention and how easily you gave yourself away to them, okay? This is more important for all of us when you people also rise up the ladder in life, and those of us who are right now at the respective locations, places, holding sensitive appointments, etc. We realize, let me tell you that it is everyday business. Okay. Even in last 4 days, I've been getting, video calls and messages from all over. So taking that, the clue from there, I well appreciate the way, the APS Srinagar has put across their views. I could see those patriotism, the enthusiasm, the zeal to make the country absolutely good. कि छोड़ना नहीं है उसको, उसके अगेंस्ट में स्टर्न एक्शन लेना है, उसको तो मार ही डालना है. That's very good. I mean, that is a joke which is expected from you people. At the same time, you must understand that sometimes, knowingly or unknowingly, you give yourself away. Okay. Now, how much has been the damage? That should also be assessed. And accordingly, punishment is, the degree of the punishment varies. While I do understand and take your point that two wrongs don't make one right, in the same breath, I will say that कभी भी human angle को life में कभी नहीं ignore करना चाहिए. Okay. So having said that, I just set the tone, just try to put your mind thinking, and now ask you a question. So these days, all information is available on the media. Okay. If you have to scratch your brain and then tell me some good practical points, okay, that how will you avoid this rogue, this disease of getting honey trapped? Give me 3-4 mind-boggling thoughts, mind-boggling ideas. I hope I could be clear in my asking a question. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your thought-provoking question. Team B, you will be getting 2 minutes as a consult time. Be prepared for your answer. 2 minutes, and your time starts now. Please. Team B, your time is up. You ready with your answer?
Thank you so much, sir, for your question. I'd like to answer it by saying, first of all, what the norms that we need to take to separate our personal lives and jobs and to protect our country is to have separate phones, as there are many personalized and real life examples already, that if we're working in such an important place of the country, we're working for the intelligence and agency of the country, we should have our personal lives and job lives separated. We should have separate phones. We should have separate social medias for every single place. We should not mix up the two, so other people we can get honey trapped. We can stop getting honey trapped if we have separate phones, as I mentioned. Also, as I mentioned in my speech before, that we should adhere to confidentiality norms. Officers are being trained with confidentiality norms, and they are being trained on how to protect it. As you've said, that these days there's so many examples and so many honey trap, and we are aware of all the cases, and to prevent that we need to make sure that we are protecting our own confidential files and everything perfectly and completely, and then we should put our country first, as I mentioned before already. And I believe that this is the most important point, that we should not mix up the two. We should keep lives separate, our personal life separate, and our job separate. And now I'd like to pass to Dash to answer for.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you, sir, for your invaluable question. So first of all, as a student, what came to my mind was education. We all know that education is that root cause. It fixes everything from the root. When the children, when the bottom of the tree is aware and experienced about issues such as this, only then they can grow up to become adults who have information about this. So cyber safety and honey trapping issues should be included in school education, as it is a method of imparting valuable information to the children, who instead will spread that information even more. Secondly, as for the organization which the senior officer is working in, being by the virtue that my father is in army, I have realized that there are inter-organizational programs. There are several programs where experts come and they impart their knowledge to all the men and soldiers in a particular unit. Therefore, I would like to suggest the same for this organization, to run information programs so that everyone within the organization is aware about the new dimension and dynamics of this new threat, which is cyber safety. Third, we can never compensate what has been lost. All that information that has been lost cannot be compensated, because network is a wildfire, and such things spread like a wildfire within seconds. Therefore, all we can do is to ensure that such things do not happen in the future. My last point would be, it is a bit out of the box, but we know that technology is being used to cause such problems to us at such a level. And with upcoming AI, programmers and programming, artificial intelligence, it is quite possible to create technologies and secure shell layers to prevent such honey trackers and spammers from getting in contact with such important position holders. These are all the points that I could come up within the limited time. Thank you.
Great. So it was again good to listen to, both of you, the entire team. I know it's a team's ideas. I'm taking one thing from you today, okay? Very soon you will find one qualification which I am going to introduce in the entire schooling through PSSCIVE on these issues: how to prevent honey trapping, how to not get into such, the digital crimes, the practical things. I'll definitely take this point from you. Thank you. Now, again, आपके बातों में बहुत जज्बा था. Having gone through all this, मैं आपको 3-4 बातें आप लोग को बताता हूँ, जो आप लोग जरूर उसको अपने में अमल कीजिएगा. One is, anything which is too good to be true, okay? Grow suspicious. ठीक है? Nothing comes in life for free. That is for sure. Okay? Then is holding back. You know what is holding back? Let's say, I am giving you a whole lot of information and I'm interacting with you. And that, I can see that coming up, that enthusiasm, that inquisitiveness. And suddenly I get out of scene. Okay? understand something is wrong. Okay, these are the techniques which the honey trappers do. Snooping around is a very important aspect. Okay, if I'm your friend, it's fine till then. But the moment you start asking me about my children, you start asking me about my parents, we know that what kind of relation I have with you. Okay, and you know how generally the honey trapping is done. You people are intelligent. Okay, इसी से रिलेटेड है persistent questioning कि आपसे बात शुरू किया और अल्टीमेट गोल वही है, घूम फिर करके आपसे इंफॉर्मेशन निकालना. Okay, so these are even there are a lot of other means, hot and cold method and etc etc. बट यदि आप लोग अपने दोस्तों के बीच में यदि ये फैला पाए कि यदि ये 4-5 चीजें हैं जो हम लोगों को ध्यान में यदि रखें, तो probably we can really get out of this racket and do not fall prey to it. You guys did a fantabulous job. I'm really happy. Bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. May I request our second judge, Mr. KB Jad, to ask his question to Team B, that's APS Srinagar. The answer, please.
So, first of all, I'd like to congratulate APS Srinagar for the wonderful presentation and their teamwork as well. You see, as a matter of fact, now technology has encroached our lives. I'm sure you will agree with it. And it is very difficult to get out of it. And now it's not possible also because technology is everywhere. It has got its own pros and cons. Having said that, and in the light of this case study, do you think that, people working in those areas or people working in such jobs which are very sensitive, perhaps related to national security, perhaps to internal threat, internal security, do you think that people working in such positions should be officially restricted from being on public domain through social media? Or do you think that it will be an unnecessary encroachment in their private lives? What is your take about it? I hope my question. You think that we should have very strict norms for such people who are in very, because the social media can be very tempting. From 8-year-old child to 80-year-old person, anybody getting into Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, you just get into it, then it's very difficult to come out of it. But do you think that there should be officially and legally some distinct restriction on such people who are in sensitive jobs, that they cannot have their public life on, their life on public domain through social media? Or you think that it will be unnecessarily, encroachment in their personal lives, personal space? So please share your views about it.
Thank you, sir, for such a thoughtful question. Team B, I think the question is clear to everyone. So you'll be getting 2 minutes as a confer time. So take your time. Your time is starting now. 2 minutes. Team B.
Team B.
Yes, you can start with the
Yes,
answer.
you can start with the answer. Thank you so much for your question, sir. We all collectively believe that all the officials in such sensitive posts should be devoid of using social media. At first, it might seem as encroachment because they might feel that their freedom is being hammered in some sense. But national security is something which comes above everything, as we stated before, too. We think that using social media has great problems that we could see examples as we stated. But if we avoid them, we could really bring down the level of cyber crimes in India to really low level. Now, I would like Dash for answer further.
Thank you, Ridrakshi, and thank you, sir, for your invaluable question. Well, according to my personal beliefs, I think that yes, there should be restrictions on personnel working in sensitive jobs. Like as a child, I have seen my father, who has been devoid since the rise of cybercrime, to be using all these social media networks. And so I can understand the importance of how being devoid of social media can affect people in a time when social media is absolutely everywhere. It may look like encroachment into the lives of personnel, but when the personnel take up such sensitive posts and jobs, they also put all their heart and soul towards the nation. They truly have a patriotic surge inside of them when they take up such occupations. So, for someone who is ready to put all their time and effort for the nation, it isn't that big of a deal to be away from social media. Therefore, it is valid to devoid sensitive occupation and position holders to be devoid of social media. Thank you.
Responses. You see, as a matter of fact, when we talk about education, uh, there is a difference between being literate and educated. You see, शिक्षित होने में और साक्षर होने में बहुत फर्क है. There's a lot of difference between. Now, with the change in times, the education pattern has also changed and the requirements of education have also changed. Now, you see, you cannot, to some extent, restrictions you can put, but at the same time, you cannot have too many restrictions also. Ultimately, you have to be prudent enough, judicious enough, educated enough, and you have to use your not to be done. If we claim to be educated and then we are into all sort of this nonsense, sorry to use that word, but you see, we have to be educated, we have to be digitally educated. You see, we have to see that how it can be used positively. Now you see the life is digitalization has become so comfortable. You remember your kids, but in our times we had to stand in long queues to get a railway ticket, or we had to stand in a huge long queue to get our own cash from the bank. Now, just at the tip of your finger, you can do all these transactions. But at the same time, it has got its own, cons also. If you're not using it sensibly, if you're not using it in a proper way, as Sir has just suggested, that, he'll be putting in some sort of curriculum in future so that, children have that wisdom. The problem with presently the problem is that we are suffering with information. We don't have that wisdom that where to use that information and where not to use that. So I think that is what is the need of our, that we have to be digitally educated and see that how we keep ourselves digitally protected. So thank you very much for your responses. You're quite, you are excellent. All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Now I request our third judge, Mrs. Neetu Chandan, to pose a question to Team B, AP Srinagar. Neetu Chandan, now, please.
Team Srinagar very eloquently presented, well researched. The given case study was analyzed well and discussed accordingly. So my compliments to the entire team, and I'm all your mentors as well, because I'm sure there's a lot of hard work which has gone behind this. So compliments to each one of you. I think this was a great initiative and a great platform, the ethics poll that we started with. Now, given the case study, there's not much dilemma because you definitely cannot compromise on your national security. And like Sir just mentioned that, wisdom is more important, and one has to be educated and to be able to understand what is right and wrong. And you'll always be in situations where there will be, because, life is not black and white. It's a zone of gray. So you'll always be standing where you have to take decisions, and you'll be confused, there'll be dilemma that what is right and what is wrong, because it will all depend on your circumstantial situations and also perspectives, because from point A somebody may feel that this is the right thing to do, but standing in another situation at point B the other person may feel no, this was the right thing to do. So I have a very simple question for you all, because we're talking about ethics bowl, and everything ultimately boils down to ethics only. What is your understanding of this term ethics? What do you understand by ethics? What is ethics?
Thank you, ma'am, for your question. Team B, you have 2 minutes to confer. So your time starts now. At the call. Yes, Team B, now you can present your answer.
Thank you, ma'am, for your question. We all know what ethics is. Being by the virtue of this competition being based on ethics, we all by now know the literal definition of ethics. It can simply be defined as the moral principle of governing behavior. Well, this is known to us all. But now I would like to give a more wider and broader definition, something that comes from within me as my understanding of ethics. Ethics are not just what is the right thing to be done. Actually, it is much more. Just as we humans are developing from generation to generation with the process of evolution, same is the matter with ethics. Something that might have been called unethical a few years back is quite well known, quite acceptable by this time. This shows the form of ethics. Ethics is not a solid brick or stones. No. Ethics is more like a free flowing body, something like water. It changes from situation to situation, person to person, society, and phases of time. Time has played a very important role in what we understand as ethical and moral. So what we can draw from this understanding of ethics is that ethics have the acceptance by the people. Acceptance of people comes with duration of time. Ethics is ever evolving. It has flaws like everything else, and those flaws are being taken care of with time. It is just the human race which has the ability to understand rationally and change its opinions over time by getting experiences. This is my understanding of ethics. Thank you.
Uh, you're done, or anybody else is wanting to speak? Okay, thank you so much, children. Thanks a lot.
Those were some very engaging questions asked by the judges, and you answered them very well, Team B, AP Srinagar. With this, we have come to the end of yet another round of the intense and a lively discussion. Now we'll take 15 minutes break for compilation of your results, which will be followed by the declaration of your results of this match of ethic world. So, 15 minutes break, we'll be back. Dear judges, this is to inform you that as we have to compile the result of today's match, so kindly send your result sheet, whatever the scores is you have mentioned in your compilation sheet, send it through WhatsApp or whatever you feel comfortable in. So all the three judges, Colonel Santosh sir, KP Jad sir and Mrs. Neetu Sharan ma'am, please send your records, your scorecards.
Yeah, noted.
As soon as possible, ma'am. Thank you everyone. Look at the smiles on their faces. Yes, this is to inform everyone that the compilation of the result is still in progress and it will take few more minutes. So just hold your horses and wait for some more time. I guess around maybe in next 10 minutes we'll be able to compile. So you have to wait. 10 minutes more. Please welcome back everyone. Kindly switch on your cameras. So thank you for your patience and long wait. I know you all are very eager to know about today's result. So I would like to bring to your notice that the secretary of the event, Dr. Jyoti Badiyal ma'am, principal of APS Dhar Road, is here with all of us and she'll be shortly announcing today's result. Dr. Jyoti Badiyal ma'am, please.
Thank you, Manish. Thank you so much. Am I audible to everyone? Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
So, dear students, I know everyone, as the moderator has just told, that everyone is eagerly waiting for the results. First of all, I would like to congratulate each one of you looking at your zeal and enthu, the way you are participating and the way you are answering the queries of the judges. Dear children, you really need a round of applause. Everybody to give them applause, right?
Sorry to interrupt, ma'am. Jyoti Badiyal, ma'am, I guess your
Yes.
camera is off.
It's on. It's on from this side. I don't know why you are not able to see me. From my side, it's on. I hope now you can see me. Am I visible?
Just wait, ma'am. We are working on it. Right now, you're not visible.
Okay. From my side, there is no glitch.
Just wait, ma'am. We are looking for it.
Shruti ma'am, I request you to spotlight here. Ma'am will be joining from my device.
So good afternoon, everyone. My sincere apology, but we can't help it. It was a tactical glitch. So I was speaking to children. Dear children, you really need appreciations and round of applause for all of you that looking at your zeal and enthu, you all have. I would like to mention here that winning and losing, it hardly matters, right? Your participation is must, and the way you are participating, the way you have worked hard, it is already, efforts of your parents, your teachers, your mentors is already, reflected the way you have participated. So all of you really, are motivation. You are an idol for the other children, the way you presented yourself. So now for sure I'll be announcing the results. Before that, I would like to owe my gratitude to the jury members of today's event, who all have participated, and for their contribution for shaping the future of the nation. So everyone is trying best to shape the future of the nation, because children are the future. So thank you so much, dear ma'am and dear sir, for your contribution. And I will be failing in my duties if I don't appreciate the efforts of the technical team of mine, maybe the technician, maybe the moderator, and the other team members of event in charge. So I'm grateful to them, so that we are reaching at this point that we're about to declare the result. But promise, the team which will not lose heart, right? It's not the end. Long way to go, right? Here we are learning that where we have missed something, or these, as I told, that winning and losing hardly matters, right? Your participation matters. And today's winning team is APS Srinagar. APS Srinagar is the winning team with 153 points, right? And APS Raiwala is having 138 points. So all the very best to APS Srinagar for the future proceeding, right? Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, and Jai Hind.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
So much. Thank you.
I would just like to express my gratitude to all the organizers and Jyoti ma'am. I mean, it's been a great job. And all the children and everybody behind the scenes who mentored and helped the children organize this. Your complete team for organizing it in such a flawless and an amazing manner. And children, I would like to repeat what ma'am just said. Both teams were excellent. You were all really good. It's just that one team probably was a little better prepared. And next time you can be a little better prepared to be there. So winning and losing, like ma'am said, is not important. It's important to participate. Participation itself is like you've already won. So heartiest congratulations to both the teams. And all of you have done exceedingly well. And thank you, Jyoti ma'am, for having us over. I mean, it was such an enriching platform, and had great fun with the children. Though I came here as a judge, but honestly, children, I was not here to assess you. I was just here to enrich myself. And it's always a joy to be with the young learners who are the future of tomorrow. So thank you so much. Thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. Pleasure is always mine, and we'll keep troubling you, because ma'am will be organizing such events. Thank you so much. We have learned a lot from you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am and sir, both. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for giving this opportunity. And children, you're all so superb. You're awesome. And wish you all the best for your future endeavors.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
And
sir.
it was nice interacting with the leaders of tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations to
So good afternoon. I took a little holistic pause. I thought that probably I am done with. But since we have a principal APS Dhar here and whole lot of literate people here, I just want to apprise all of you that a lot is happening in the country with regard to I'll say if, good changes in the education system. And we have a document I have been sharing with a lot of principals of the Army Public School, though my responsibility is the entire nation, but since I belong to that community, so I have little more affiliation to that community, that is the armed forces. So I want to just tell you that surprisingly, APSs are also part of the NCRT syllabus, CBSE. While a whole lot of schools have already started, becoming, aligning themselves, their curriculum, etc., with the vocational courses. That thing is generally, I have not been able to yet have a look at it, at the schools, at the Army public schools. So I just want to request each one of you that there is a document called National Credit Framework, which is the fallout of the National Education Policy, NEP 2020. So we loosely call it as the new education. It's not new education, it's education.
Match 4 में camera off है.
Okay, so I'll request each one of you children, kindly, the teachers as well, and the principals who actually make it happen in the schools, kindly go through it. If at all my services are required, I'm ready to do it on Saturdays, Sundays as well. I have been taking a lot of lectures, and I have a team. We are a national regulator, but we don't want to look like a regulator. We want to look like a facilitator. Recently I was in Srinagar around a month back, wherein all the VCs of the various universities of Srinagar, they were there. In fact, entire JNK, they were there. There were people from Leh also. And we are looking at very close angles with all those skills which that state has. All of us know that it is a great state. And there is so much which we can do towards the vocational side to make it aspirational. So kindly read that document. Any one of you are wanting any assistance in that, I assure you that we are there, and I am there in person. Thank you. It was really an honor to be part of this competition. This was the first experience for me. I hope I could deliver and I could do justice to it. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. For sure, we'll be connecting. We'll contact you for help, sir. Thank you so much, sir. It was really a pleasure, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, congratulations, Team B, APS Srinagar. I want to acknowledge the zeal and enthusiasm of both the participant teams. The main idea behind this ethic ball is to develop students' intellectual abilities and capacities to deepen their ethical understanding and reinforcement of the sense of ethical commitment. So, moreover, the ultimate victory is in a competition is derived from an inner satisfaction of knowing that you have done your best and you have got the most out of what you have given. So congratulations to all the students, concerned staff, and all other lovely spectators with us. I would like to take a moment to thank all our distinguished judges who took out their time from their busy schedules and graced us with their benevolent presence. Your time and dedication made it possible for us to reward students for their creative efforts. It's been a pleasure being with all you today. That's all from my side. Thank you and have a very nice day ahead.
Ma'am, we would like to congratulate the team Srinagar.
Very heartfelt congratulations. We are so happy that you won. Congratulations.
Thank you, Team A. You
Very
were
good.
fabulous.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It was a great competition being with you guys, and we'd also like to extend our gratitude towards you, ma'am.
Yes.
The way you hosted it was wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, dear. Thank you. God bless you all. You both are winners. Hardly matters. So, that's all for today. Thank you and have a nice day.